Hello there. Today we're going to take a look at the 5 best GPUs under $500
For Potato PC.
in the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our 5 best picks. Then we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a GPU under $500.
For Potato PC.
We'll put the links to all of the products we mentioned in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. Number 5. XFX Radeon RX 550. If you don't have more than 400 Rand to spend on a graphics card, you have a few options. As of right now, the best sub-$400 GPU is an RX 550, and as of the time of updating this guide, the top RX 550 currently available is XFX's Core Edition. This card comes with a 1203 MHz base clock rate, 4GB of VRAM, and a single fan cooling configuration. Due to the single fan configuration, this RX 550 measures in at just 6.7 inches long, so it's a great option for a budget-friendly mini-gaming PC build. For performance, you can expect to run most games on a 1080p monitor on at least lower settings. For non-demanding games like League of Legends, this card will work just fine, and for more demanding games, you can play on lower settings until you have enough money to upgrade to something more powerful. Number 4. Asus AMD Radeon R7 250. The Radeon R7 250 is more for casual gamers, and it's a cheaper graphics card on the list that has a price tag of less than $200. It doesn't offer any special features, however it can handle streaming butter smooth. It allows you to play some older titles that don't have complex graphics. The AMD Radeon R7 250 comes with 1024 MB of VRAM, which isn't that impressive to hear. However, the Tweak 2 engine skyrockets the performance once you adjust the settings according to the tasks you perform. Another interesting fact is that it has dustproof fans. They aren't made of the highest quality material, but the dustproof feature does help them to spin smoother and last longer. Number 3. MSI Gaming GeForce GT 710 2GB. The GeForce GT 710 2GB from MSI Gaming is a solid mid-range graphics card with a price well under the $100 mark. It's a great daily driver that supports just over 1440p display. Quite a feat for such a cheap card, and one you would have paid around 4 times as much for back in the day. It's got a great compact design, making it perfect for small stealth builds or a homemade Steam machine. It's got afterburner overclocking capabilities, and with 2GB of DDR3 RAM, DirectX 12, and a 954 MHz core, that's a good one. Sure, you're not going to be racking up 60 FPS on the latest Battlefield on ultra settings, but with enough RAM, an SSD, and a decent CPU, you're going to be well equipped to bring your setup up a notch to the next level. It's a simple, sturdy, and well-rounded card that won't leave you disappointed, adding a little kick into the mix. Number 2. Gigabyte NVIDIA GeForce GT 1030. Here comes the GT 1030, a well-known graphics card for streaming videos in 4K resolutions. Because of its price, which is lower than $500, the GeForce GT 1030 isn't made to handle games that demand more. However, it can be a friendly companion for casual gamers. Overall, this GPU is meant for video streaming in 4K, and the best part is that it's cheap and still comes with a feature that you can expect in a budget graphics card. With its 2GB of VRAM, the GT 1030 never backs up from processing 4K video files like a boss. Its clock speed is on point with a mark of 1468 MHz, and there are 3 different types of ports that you can use for connecting cables. Number 1. XFX Radeon RX 570. If you have a tighter budget and you can't spend more than $500, this XFX Radeon RX 570 graphics card is a good option. The RX 570 lags a bit behind both the RX 5500 XT and the RX 580, but it will still run most games on a 1080p monitor, on at least medium settings. The card is actually the longest option on the list, measuring in at 9.6 inches long. However, it's still compact enough to where it'll fit in the majority of modern cases. It also comes with a 1264 MHz base clock rate and sports 4GB of VRAM. Overall, if you don't have the budget to get an RX 5500 XT, an RX 570 is probably your next best option. Now that we've shown you the best GPUs under $500 out there, let's talk about a few things you should look for before buying one. Size. Size is probably the most important factor in buying GPUs under $500. Many of these kinds of GPUs are built to certain sizing standards, such as ATX motherboards or low-profile cases. There's no worse feeling than arriving home to a fresh package of tech upgrade, only to realize it doesn't fit in your setup. So be sure to have your case's measurements and connector types on hand when shopping to avoid little mistakes that'll throw off your whole upgrade. Power. While most of the cards on this list require a mere 300 to 350 watts power supply, and it's unlikely that many of you watching this will have a power supply lower than that, it is a good thing to double check. If you're running a very basic low power supply, you might even want to find a package deal to get a new PSU and GPU together at a discounted rate. Intended application. If you want something for casual gaming and the standard graphics work, go for a graphics card under $200. However, for uninterrupted experiences such as when gaming at high settings or using software like Maya, 3D, SolidWorks, AutoCAD, etc., you'll have to buy a graphics card under $500 or above. In other words, a mid to high range graphics card is best for intensive gaming and 3D modeling. In contrast, for standard usage, a budget to entry-level unit would be just fine.